Hey everybody, how we doing? Set here and bringing to you another video. My Hero Ultra Rumble. The train doesn't stop. Well, at least it doesn't stop yet. Not sure if you can hear it or not in the background, but I have the fan on. It is very hot and humid in the UK right now, so I pretty much need this fan on in the background. Otherwise, I might just die during recording. Hopefully you won't be able to hear it anyway, but just in case you do, that's why it's there. But yeah. England is very humid. Some of you guys will probably, like type the numbers up. Let me just see how hot it is right now in the UK. Trust me, the numbers don't do it justice. It's really humid in our country. Even if the numbers don't look like your California numbers, trust us. It's like there's like a hidden multiplier in the UK, alright? There's a hidden, however hot you think the number reads, just like add extra numbers on top of it, and then put a sticky modifier onto those numbers, and that's roughly, around about where we're at. Anyway, with that all being said, this video gonna do some fun end game matches, so just put in the start of this one here, just so I can chat my nonsense for you guys before we get into the actual end game combat. So gonna be a few various games, just focusing on some crazy or fun end circles. So that's what we're gonna do for this video, and hopefully you guys will enjoy it, and hopefully my commentary will not kill you. Let's get into it. Alright, same game from the one you just saw the start of, but now we're heading towards the end point. Circle's getting real small, 6 players left. Look at that. Cheetos, Cheetos outfit eater flying through the air. I really do think, just as a tip for a lot of people, when it does come to these crazy end circles where, the circle is pretty small, such as the way it is right now, and, you have a beefy amount of people all, trying to stick their foot in the pool, I would say just, identify who's the biggest threat to you. Not to the point where you need to focus them solely, because I think if you try to tunnel vision someone in a circle like this, you're not going to see some threats around you, but you just always kind of want to keep tabs on who you think is your biggest problem. Which is why I would always say, just identify. It doesn't even need to be like, oh, I know that player is good. It could be a matchup. It might be, well, I'm a Todoroki and I don't like fighting Mirios. So I'm going to keep an eye on the Mirio because I don't want to be the last guy left with him, kind of thing. I want to take him out when he's not looking at me. So, just matchups that you might think, that's just an example, by the way. I don't know if that is a good or a bad matchup, because, I don't really engage in that kind of stuff. But, just as an example, just look for who you think, character-wise or player-wise, is going to be a problem for you, and don't necessarily focus them, because that could leave you susceptible to being focused yourself from other people. But keep an eye on them, and then when you sense that ability to, take something from them, then you gotta take it. You have to be the ultimate opportunist, like Edge in WWE. Like right now, I'm doing a great job right now of just not being in the spotlight, but doing a lot of damage to a lot of people. And I think a lot of people in these end circles, they get, a little bit of a streak going, and then they become the main star. They think they're Monoma, stealing the show. But I think sometimes when, you're in the instance that I was there, I wasn't really trying to become the main character. I was just doing as much damage to as many people from as, what's the word I'm looking for? As, as shadowy a spot as possible. And then when people finally do clock onto you, they're going to be worse for it because you've been wearing them down, and you should, in theory, be pretty damn good for your health and shields because you've been out of the spotlight. So, just a thing to think about. And of course, always keep an eye on your teammates' health and shields. You never know when, you're going to need to drink something that's going to end up in their liver so that it can help them out. A plus chaos overhaul is very scary. My first instinct, I was like, get me over that fence, because I do not want to be trapped up against some sort of hard surface with an even harder overhaul, if you know what I'm saying. Get down before I put you down. And there you go. Job done. Both of them out of the way. Jay plays to win. GG's to you, buddy. Not this time, kid. Nah, he's I'm sure he's a very good player. Overhaul is a very tricky guy to come up against. Since he dropped. I think mainly like the biggest thing about overhauls is that gamma. You know, you get hit with the gamma, big damage, you're trapped, more damage comes on top of you. You know, it just gets worse and worse, and then from there you're already on the back foot. So always got to watch out for that. Okay, this was a fun one. You guys are gonna like this one. You guys are gonna like this one. I mean, look at that circle already. And 18 people are still in here raving, cutting shapes on the dance floor. Nobody wants to go home. Everybody says they're here for a fun time. Those exit doors are not crowded because these guys do not want to leave. Sorry, Shiggy, gonna have to kick you out, bouncer style. So good to have a twice on your team for those really quick executions. Plus the clone, what do you call it? The clone addition on your team. Look at that. From one bad pair of hands to another bad pair of hands. What do they both have in common? They're both down and out. Them ones there when I'm using that full shield drink for like 60 shields. Look at that. Smooth criminal. Smooth criminal all for one with his pink suit. Woke up feeling kind of funky. Bubblegum all for one. Chewed up and spat out. And then before you know it, I'm getting snap, crackle, and popped by those electric strikes. If there's one character in this entire game that once I start getting hit by them, I feel the most amount of stress to get out of that situation and as far away from it as possible, it is Denki. Because whenever anyone else is hitting you, like, you know, from surprise, shout out to that tree. Obviously it's bad. You're like, okay, I'm getting hit in the back. This ain't great. But with Denki, that could turn from I'm getting hit in the back to I am now Stephen Hawking on legs. I can't move. I'm dribbling over my shoulder because I cannot move, and I'm taking more and more damage. Oh my days. Somebody stop me on that one. That Cementos was like, don't worry about it. We got skyscrapers in the game. I said, get off of that and go back down to the ground floor, kid. Pow! Coming down for another one. Did somebody say elevator Deku? The cords have snapped. Oh my god. Come down with the hammer. Another one bites the dust straight into another one. Putting nails in the floorboards. Unacceptable behavior from Vigilante Deku right now. I told you guys we're gonna like this one. This was just pain after pain. Pain after pain. I love it when I'm in a circle when just I can get those high jumps and then those high beta kicks down. Reason why I went plus ultra there, because when I saw that Denki get in range, I was like, I think he's gonna try and stun me with his, you know, his NFL tackle. So if I use my plus ultra, it would basically, you know, make me invulnerable to it, which it did, but he didn't do it. So it was kind of, I think it was maybe kind of a waste in the end, but. Little known tip. All Mights absolutely hate staying on their 2 feet. They love getting in the air. So when that All Might was here, some people wouldn't think about doing a beta because the beta's going to hit the rooftop. No one's on the rooftop. Why would you do it? But I knew that All Might was going to be around my level by the time I got down to that rooftop. And again, why is that? It's because All Mights, they can't help themselves, man. They like to think that they have wings. You know, they're drinking Red Bull 24/7. So an All Might, when you look at one of them, chances are within the next few seconds, they are going to be trying to show off, you know, like they're the Incredible Hulk leaping into the air. And I called that, and I'm thinking, I think I'm going to be right on that call. Turns out, as soon as this happened, I was like, yeah, you are every All Might that ever plays this game. Not that that's a bad thing, by the way. It's just All Mights, a lot of them, they just don't like to stay on the ground. And you know they're going to do that floaty jump every chance they get. Especially because their alpha is like so splash damagey. You know, more splashes on their alpha than, you know, than you'd find at a kid's swimming pool. So they want to get in the air so they can shoot the ground next to you. As if they're trying to, you know, trying to make the flat earth theory a reality by how hard they're hitting the ground, trying to smooth it all out across the globe. You know what I'm saying? So it was always going to be that. The thing with hitting Mirios is Mirios are very hard to hit, especially the good ones, but there's always going to be that period of time where they think that they don't need to go intangible. And they'll just be running around. Like, every Mirio has that time. It's just a matter of finding out when they're doing it. When they're just kind of like mentally chilling. And then that's when you can get like 2 or 3 clean shots off on them, and then it begins to whittle them down from there. This guy hiding in the shed like he's the Unabomber or something. FBI, step outside! Beta trade. Then he went plus ultra. When he went plus ultra, I was like, okay, there's a very severe possibility of a 1v3 happening here. That's why I quickly went to heal. I was like, don't let me be that guy who gets one-shotted because he walks into a 3v1 being the 3, but he's got no health. But thankfully it didn't come to that. But yeah, fun little endgame, that one for sure. Definitely one of my favorite recent ones. Sumimasen. Alright, the intensity continues. This one is going to be a bit different from the one we just had, where I'm smoking through everyone. This one, man, I felt like everyone was trying to smoke through me. So we've been on the run pretty much the whole game, back up against the wall. Had no Palpy Moon because he was pretty unfortunate getting taken down. Then, you know, we just was going from bad place to worst place to worst place. You know, it just wasn't going well for us. So we didn't really get too many levels between us, as you can see. But thankfully I managed to snag a revive card. So, you know, pays to keep an eye on what's going on around you. You know, even things you're not directly involved with, you can, you know, directly insert yourself into for a quick little bit of theft, like I did. You know, someone else opened the gold box. I said, thanks for that. And then I took the, you know, I took the, that Derby would be KO'd if he didn't do that fire thing there. Before I hit my beta. Yes, and I took the revive card. I managed to get my player back into the game. You know, there's speed, rapid Bakugo going absolutely nuts. That All Might was wrong place, wrong time. I'd like to pretend as if I had psychic powers and I saw him coming, but I was just like, yeah, I wanna stamp my foot on the ground, and All Might just happened to turn up. Well, thanks for that, buddy. So yeah, really crowded end circle here. With good players who are on a roll. Like, that's the thing, sometimes it's not always, sometimes, you know, mediocre or like average players, or, you know, a bit above average players just have really on-form games. You know, if you ever watched a sports game, football, American football, basketball, we like, that player's okay, like, that player's pretty good, but he's not amazing. But sometimes those very players have games where they are, you know, quote-unquote, in form. And for one game or 2 games, they just play above their level, and you're like, what the hell? You know, play even better than, you know, an average great player's normal game, or a great player's average game, you know? So I felt like this was one of them games where, like, a lot of the people in this lobby were, like, you know, pretty decent, but just a lot of them were on their in-form day or something. They were in form, having a great great part of the season or something, you know. Coach whispered in their ear something, I don't know, galvanized them. So yeah, I'm like, flipping hell, mate, I need a breather. These guys were looking to call devilish dismantling upon us. So I'm like, alright, this Bakugo's... I made a huge mistake here. Can you see what I did? That was so damn stupid of me. I was like, okay, I got low health, but I got a lot of shields. I stuck it on this Bakugo. I said, you're good, buddy, but I've had enough of you for fucking 2 minutes. So then I knocked him out of the way, and I'm like, he's gonna leave me alone for now. And what I wanted to do was, I wanted to quickly take out my... I knew I didn't have enough time to heal properly, but I wanted to use a heal card. Sacrificing the ability to get that heal card on, I stood around, waddling around, like flipping Winnie the Pooh, and left myself completely open to easy attacks, and I lost all of my shield just for what? To activate a level 2 heal card. Such a huge waste. Despite that, thankfully, I managed to snag myself out of that bad position and capitalize on the damage I did earlier. Very, very great game for that rapid Bakugo. I keep on calling him speed Bakugo, probably because it felt like he was on speed as he was just like cracking me across the head throughout like a lot of the game. Yeah, credit to him. He's from my experiences with that particular guy, he's a very good player. But there's a lot of really good players. I think on MHUR Ultra Rumble, like now more than ever, you just run into more, even players who used to be like, you know, just kind of okay in like the first, second, third season. Like a lot of them have kind of pushed on and become a lot better, you know, because most people who are still playing the game now have been playing the game for a while. So, you know, they're gonna start learning things. They're gonna start getting to grips with things, and it's a natural progression. So I'm not really too surprised. But yeah, as you can see, it was very, a lot of close situations. And we managed to, between me and Dynamites, managed to, you know, put the game on our shoulders. Pour one out for Palpy Moon. Usually he's carrying us. But we helped him this time. Alright, another game here. Deku rocking his gym equipment. Could you even call that gym equipment? I don't even know when he wore it. When did he wear this? Probably one of the dorm episodes, right? Either doing his best Solid Snake impression, crawling along the ground on his front. Say, don't worry, buddy. I got you. We're all good. And then this Ida said, are you sure about that? He came and he just walloped our other Ida. He was like, who the fuck said you could stand back up? And at this point I was like, oh shit. Look at that. And I took this leap of faith outside. Went out into the burning zone atmosphere. Because I'm thinking, if they're thinking I'm going to go anywhere, it's not going to be there. And then obviously this, look at that. I was panicking. I was like, am I about to go down through some crazy level of stupidity? I do like to ride the edge of the zone. Ride it like it pays my bills. And I think a lot of the times it does help me out, because a lot of people, they're just like not looking there a lot of the time. They just don't think you're going to be at the edge of a zone. When the circle is really small and there's nothing in your way, it's kind of more obvious. But in those times where you do have a lot of cover between you and the edge of the zone, you know, like buildings, walls, blah, 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 you really can get away with a lot. So now, small circle, 4 teams. And it's me and All Might, the classic. Deku and All Might. Perfecto. Midoriya Shonen. Yeah, me and this mountain lady just trading misses until I said, you know what, forget it. I'm out of here. Whenever I have like a really bad interaction, like I'm missing all my shots or I'm just being an idiot, I don't try to force it. I just get out of there and I try to reset my brain for like the next time I fight that person or the next person. Because I feel as if you're like in a really like rough bit of form in a match and you keep forcing it, that rough form is just gonna get you KO'd and then your game ends. Whereas if you just like back away, say, alright, let me let me think about why I'm being a fool right now. And then try to, you know, just give your hands a little break, give your brain a little break. Then by the time you get into the next scrap, you might aim better, you might move more efficiently, you might do this better, you might do that better. Sometimes it's just a case of don't commit yourself so hard to your situation that you end up with a gravestone for it, you know? Sometimes you just need to back away and say, I need a minute. And as you can see, it works. You know, I was playing terribly in that little interaction with Mount Lady, stepped away, sorted myself out, and then before you know it, I did a lot of damage on a Deku, contributed towards him going down with an assist. And, you know, now here we are, like, healthed up, shielded up, ready to take the game by the scruff of the neck and, you know, bend it over my knee and deliver some spankings with All Might observing. Does that sound like a strange party? It does, but hey, you weren't invited, so don't judge it. Would you like to be invited, though? I love making people waste a quirk when I know I'm about to use my my plus ultra. I'm like, yeah, just one less quirk amount I need to worry about from you. It's even better when it turns out to be, you know, their last one before they have to do the long cooldown. Timing! That's also another thing though, if you're that kind of guy who's also doing the plus ultras, you gotta make sure no one's about to take advantage of your timing the way I took advantage of that Mount Lady's timing. It's not always gonna be able to happen to you, and you're not always gonna be able to do it to someone else, but if you can see the, you know, the opportunity for it, I would always say to go for it. Unless, of course, like, you're in a really dangerous health position where you can get, like, one-shotted. So it's not worth getting banged up over, then don't do it. Hi. GG desu. Os!